adjust the settings because I forgot to clarify what um, Infinity Remnants means. Advanced settings, can I change the name of the stream? Okay, so right, that's not going ahead. My voice is slightly quieter and craggly because I am dealing with COVID, as I said in my last stream. I'm just doing this because it's something to do whilst I'm isolating before I get back to work because I have a job now. Hey everyone, my name is Tom, welcome back to a brand new stream. Today I want to present my pitch for a brand new MCU based video game that I would like to see. Nothing's been confirmed, that this is literally just my own idea and what I would do. It's great to finally be talking about gaming again because I haven't really done anything specifically related to gaming in a long time. It's all been based on television, movies, and life in general. Whereas this started off as a gaming channel, so it's great to finally be going back to my roots a little bit, whilst adding a bit of the other stuff in, like the talking about Marvel Studios and some cases The Walking Dead. I do want to try and get back to talking about Batman again soon. I think I did a video on the Batman. I'm not sure. I remember I recorded one. I just don't know if I ever uploaded it. If not, I'll stick on Arkham Knight and I'll do a full stream based on the Batman because I love that movie, and to be honest, I feel like I'm ready to watch it again. But anyway, I digress. So, Marvel Studios' The Infinity Remnants, that is my working title for an MCU-based video game. Basically, the reason why I wanted this so much is because I was on a YouTube community section of an MCU-based post, and I got thinking, it was about the blip. And it got me thinking, I'd love to see more content based on the decimation, and more content based on what happened during the 5 years between the end of Infinity War and the start of Endgame and the post 5 year time jump. I just say 5 years between Infinity War and Endgame because Endgame picked up literally, what was it, like 2-3 weeks after where Infinity War left off. So there's literally no time whatsoever, less than a month between the two films. So I got thinking, what would I want? And I personally think this is a very, this kind of feels like Order 66 from the Star Wars movies, in the fact that it's such a universally wide event. It's literally, it's a huge event for the universe, and I got like, you can never really have too many perspectives of the decimation, the same as you can never have too many perspectives of Order 66, because it's such a a game-changing thing. Even though the events of the decimation have been undone, and for anyone who died in the decimation, or I keep calling it the decimation, the snap, it was originally called the decimation, then it got retconned to being the snap and the blip. Everyone who died in the snap was just brought back in their eyes 5 seconds later, whereas in real time it was 5 years. There's still 5 years worth of dark, intense, brooding MCU drama to really play with there, and I think that's where this game comes in, because I feel like it should be up to a fan to kind of dictate where they want their story to go, which is why the Marvel Studios Infinity Remnants is simply all about the players' perspective of what happened after the Avengers lost, and where the universe kind of picks up after that. So to start off with all the boring stuff, it is, in my eyes, a next-gen exclusive, which I find absolutely hilarious because I do not actually own a next-gen console yet. I am hoping to buy one next year. I'm trying to be very smart with money at the moment because I've said it a million times, but I am leaving soon. I'm going off to university, so I'm not buying a PlayStation 5 at this moment in time. I'm hoping to get one around the time of or before Spider-Man 2's release and Suicide Squad's release as well. I really want those two games, and also Jedi Survivor. But I digress. The reason why I've gone for a next-gen exclusive release, and this isn't just PlayStation 5 by the way, I'm not that kind of guy. I personally hope that both Xbox Series X and PC get it, because it's a Marvel game. I feel like everyone should be entitled to play it. Yeah, okay, I'm a hypocrite because I'm playing Spider-Man for the PlayStation, exclusively for the PlayStation, but then again, the game's indoctrinated its features, the PlayStation's features into the mechanics, so you'll use a touchpad and stuff like that, and I know PCs work this way around it and now it's available for PC, but at the same time it's still primarily a Sony based game, and I think that a Marvel Studios specific game should be enjoyable for everyone, not just Sony, Sony fans like me, but also this isn't specifically a Spider-Man based game, so there's no reason why it should be a PlayStation exclusive. But yeah, the genre I've gone for is a RPG roleplay game where you create your own character. Yes, that instantly means that this game is not MCU canon, despite it being set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or does it? See, that's the joy of this game. So the reason why I've gone for a roleplay game is because I really do feel like players should really engulf the opportunity to be their own character in this respective universe. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying use predetermined dialogue like a TellTale game. I'm saying make everything down to a T, literally how you want your character to look, shape the mold of that. Think of it like Cyberpunk, Skyrim, a load of amazing roleplay games, and RPGs, MMORPG. I personally, I've been really enjoying Star Wars: The Old Republic recently with my brother, and it's just, that game really did spell a lot of inspiration. I think Marvel Studios really does need a game, an RPG based game, just to kind of deepen what this universe has. Oh my god, I love this move. I feel like that'd be really powerful, because then it makes the audience feel, sorry, I'm getting mixed up with my theatrical and cinematic terminology. It makes the player feel a lot more involved in the MCU, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Like, you have a character that literally interacts with Rocket Raccoon or Captain Marvel or Captain America or Black Widow. The possibilities are freaking endless with this game, and I seriously feel like it's so important that this game just happens specifically in the MCU. If it wasn't the MCU, it would still be cool, but at the same time it's kind of establishing another universe that you'd then want the full backstory of, whereas with the MCU we're really getting into the nitty-gritty. And this is the thing, even if it's set during the Infinity Saga, that doesn't mean you cannot play with Phase 4 components. For example, we have things like the Eternals, we have Black Widow. Black Widow is an amazing film in my opinion. Honestly, it is one of my favourites. I can't say it's my top 5 or even top 10, but it's still a favourite. Like, that's how good Marvel Studios is. Black Widow is such a great film, and I think that components and story elements from that film could easily be indoctrinated into this game, whether it be, you know, you go find remaining widows or God knows what. The possibilities are freaking endless, even if it's working with Black Widow herself. In terms of setting, so speaking of the genre RPG, you know, the setting I have gone for, as I said before, sorry, oh god, sorry, my note is just kind of corrupted. PlayStation, there you go. Not that it matters, because I've just finished the segment talking about next gen exclusive. The setting, so as I said before, it's set between the 5 years of the blip. Not, you know, try not to repeat myself too much, but I feel like this is the most opportunistic segment of the MCU now. Much like how following Order 66 in Star Wars, again, I'm constantly referring back to Order 66 because that's that's the kind of theme I'm getting. Oh my god. That's the kind of theme I'm getting from the decimation and the chaos that ensued from it, from the end of Infinity War to, you know, the midway through Endgame with the time jump. And, you know, bearing in mind that in real time, had the decimations, had the snap still happened, we would still be during the snap. Obviously, the blip didn't happen until October 2023, which is next year, same month I turn 20. So, you know, there's so much story-wise, it'd be perfect. You know, kind of going back to the genre of why it's an RPG, you can explore, if you wanted to create a certain faction, a certain branch, for example, you wanted to explore the more cosmic repercussions of the snap. Right, I'm just going to keep calling it decimation and the blip, because calling it the snap just sounds a bit silly, and decimation sounds so much cooler. You know, if you wanted to explore the cosmic side, you could go to, you know, planets like the Sovereign, or maybe not the Sovereign. Oh yeah, no, why not go to the Sovereign, or Contraxia, or Nowhere, and seriously, sorry, God, I bloody hate COVID. Right, I'm just gonna. There you go. 3 left dukes to the face. You know.
Okay. Still need to rescue the trapped civilians.
Sorry, I'm getting sweats and stuff. You know, brain fart. Sorry. That faction is, you know, having an RPG game set in the MCU, and during that era, like, you can kind of explore the decimation on a much more universal scale. Like, explore what happened with the Asgardians, or what happened with, you know, the Collector after Thanos stole the Reality Stone. Did he live? Did he die? And you can predetermine that. You can decide that. You know, it'd be absolutely brilliant to explore. And there's nothing saying that you don't have, like, you know, if you. The next section I want to talk about is factions and classes. There's nothing saying that if you chose to be a sorcerer, that you just have to stick to sorcerer related missions, like staying in Comatage, or you know, going to either of the 3 Sanctum Sanctorums. There's nothing saying that you can't be a sorcerer and not go to like Nowhere or Holler, because obviously with sorcerers in particular, they're not all just humans. You know, you've got the one from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I can't remember his name. I know he is an original Guardians of the Galaxy comic book member. I can't remember the fine out details of who he is. But then you've got Rintra from Multiverse of Madness, and he'd make a great cameo in this game. And kind of start seeing how the seeds are tied up for the events of Phase 4 and the Multiverse Saga as well. It'd be a great way to kind of you know, plant the seeds for what we know will come. For example, Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel. Even though I wasn't a fan of it, I think it would still be cool to see, just see something, whether it's you see the bangle as like an Easter egg. And the thing is, there's nothing saying that this game couldn't eventually interact, like couldn't have connections to the later movies. For example, Star Wars Battlefront 2 had the compass that Luke Skywalker found in that game show up in The Last Jedi as a little relic that Rey saw, and the same with Jedi Fallen Order, how literal boss fights and locations from that game became quite significant to the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi in that series. There's nothing saying that you can't have something or someone or something from this game show up in future Marvel productions, you know, because Marvel was always interconnected. I think Marvel should now probably look into establishing what they've got, as well as what they continue to develop on. For example, what, like with this story. So the factions. Alright, moving on to the factions. I've got 4 major classes and factions, and I'm specifying more on factions because of the fact that these are the people that end up showing up in the final battle of Endgame, which is kind of where, in my eyes, this game concludes. You know, in my eyes, I think the game would be so cool if it ended with you showing up in the final battle of Avengers Endgame, and you know you're there with when Captain America says Avengers Assemble, you know, as whichever faction you decide to be as. You know, I think it'd be beautiful, it'd be really cool and compelling to do that, and then just carry on exploring afterwards and doing side missions and stuff. I've gone for the factions of the Wakandans, the Sorcerers, the Ravagers, and the Asgardians. Now, the reason why I've gone for them is because they are the 4 major armies that unite for the Battle of Earth, or the, I like to call it the Battle for Infinity, but canonically it's not called that. You know, they are the 4 major ones. Yeah, there's no one else really that shows it. I mean, as cool as it would be to do mutants and Inhumans, and you know, Eternals, and members of Shang-Chi's tribe, as cool as it would be to do that, you know, they don't show up in the movie, and I want to try and establish that kind of connection. So those 4 major ones, there's nothing saying there couldn't be Easter eggs where you meet them, and then down the line, as like an expansion stories, you then get to work with the mutants and stuff. But for the main storyline of this game, I would personally stick with those major 4. Plus, each of them, literally each of them at this current moment, are quite integral to the future of the MCU as well. For example, we just had Thor: Love and Thunder with the Asgardians. We just had Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with the Sorcerers, and they are up for by this point they are up for a massive story ahead, with obviously the fall of Wanda and the rise of the Scarlet Witch and the destruction that erupts after that. So you can kind of set the scene up and, you know, bring back some of the characters that Multiverse of Madness introduced and kind of get ready emotionally to witness what happens to them in Multiverse of Madness, so that when it does happen it's a lot more emotional and heartbreaking. For example, the relationship between Wong and Sarah in the movie in Multiverse of Madness could actually be developed upon in this game, and like you meet Wong as like your sorcerer leader. I feel like every faction should have a surviving advocate from who survived the decimation. Obviously, with the Wakandans, it couldn't be Black Panther because he died in the decimation. For the sorcerers, it couldn't be Doctor Strange because he died. It couldn't be Star-Lord for the Ravagers because he died. It would have to be Yondu because he was the only like genuine surviving Guardian, which is actually quite bizarre really, because it goes against Thanos' ideology, because he wanted half of everything, whereas Rocket was the only Guardian that died, that survived. Although bear in mind Gamora died in a different way, in an irreversible death. So yeah, that'll be, you know, but you know, going back to, you could always have Valkyrie as the representative for the Asgard, because by then Thor's gone into his depression. You know, you could probably have Thor show up as a cameo, but I wouldn't really expect anything else besides, you know, maybe he goes on a few rampages before he you know, caves into his depression, and just kind of go from there. Yeah, I think each faction should have its own gameplay style, which leads to my next point. My next point of gameplay styles, I've just listed some games that I would like to see an MCU game take inspiration from. So my main three that I've listed here are, now the third one is slightly controversial, so brace yourself. I am going to explain it the best I can. So hopefully no one is then planning my grisly demise. Oh God, I hate kidnappings. So the first one is Skyrim. I feel like if you're playing an Asgardian, maybe more a sorcerer, an Asgardian would be an excellent opportunity to kind of have that Skyrim style gameplay. So, you know, you're mixing in magic with using heavy like medieval broadswords and other kind of weapons you'd find on a dungeon, D&D, and that kind of stuff. I think it'd be really awesome to have a kind of consolidation between Skyrim gameplay. It almost feel more like Fallout than anything else, but I don't really want to go to it. I will probably affiliate Fallout with the likes of the Ravager style gameplay. Although with that, you know, I think it'll be a lot different in a way. Oh God, there we go. That was fun. You know, I think it'd be really cool. For the next style of gameplay, I've gone for God of War, that, you know, classic hack and slash. Again, a lot like Skyrim. I feel like the God of War style would be really good for someone who wanted to play a more Wakandan style gameplay. I was actually thinking, you know, the likes of Batman Arkham Knight, and even this game, Spider-Man, with like the counter. Oh, why have I got a table there? That's weird. Oh no. Oh, I didn't want that. Can I just go back? There you go. Sorry about that, it's annoying. I was thinking, you know, like a hack and slash, something, or like counter. But personally, I think that would just be more for combat. Whereas with likes of Skyrim, God of War, it's more interactive. You know, do combos and skills and upgrade and use a skill tree. Just really pimp the character out to be your own character, and therefore if you replay the game as a different faction, you're getting something very different. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. The last game, now this is the controversial one. Last major game I've gone for as inspiration on gameplay style is Square Enix's Avengers game, Crystal Dynamics' Avengers game. The reason why I have no content of this game is because I don't have it for the PlayStation, and I do not intend to get it for the PlayStation. I have played it for the Xbox, and I'm going to be really honest, I like the game. I really do. It's not something I ever intend on buying for the PlayStation. I'm going to play the story once and then never again, because the storyline is not, you know, not to turn this into an Avengers review, but a lot of the things Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics have done have disappointed me, which is why I've just kind of lost interest in the run of the game. I'm just playing it because it's a game, we got it for the Xbox, and I've just been playing it. So it's as simple does it. In terms of, you know, what I would take from the Avengers game and stick into this, I would more so do the whole unlock abilities, unlock. And when I say unlock, this is where I kind of differentiate from Avengers here. I mean play to unlock. Microtransactions. If I was making this game, my brother's a game, like, designs games, so, you know, if he was doing it, I would personally push for no microtransactions. At most, I think all I would do is I would make, you know, purchasable DLC, and that'd be it. Not have a, you know, online sale microtransactions sale scheme like every other game does, because I don't know, I don't agree with it. Personally, I wouldn't. Like, I've never bought packs for a game. I've never bought, you know, I've never paid for stuff like that. I've only ever downloaded the free skins or free DLC skins, or I've bought a season pass story pack for a game, like a Season of Infamy, of Arkham Knight, and City That Never Sleeps with Spider-Man. I think that they are, in my eyes, what I consider as good DLC, not the kind of crap you get from Avengers where you pay like 60 quid just for one MCU suit. That's not appropriate at all. I'd rather just play the game to unlock it. You know, it gives me more of an excuse to level up my characters and stuff like that. I just wouldn't do that for a game, especially for an RPG. I just wouldn't bother. I would make it somehow an online co-op thing. Say you and your I'm not sure if I could do a co-op campaign, but say after you complete the campaign you can engage in you know, doing missions and stuff and playing with your mates. I think that'd be pretty cool. I guess kind of like a GTA Online thing as well, where after you complete the main storyline and you play GTA Online, you can kind of do other stories working with other characters, no matter which class you are. Like, for example, online doing you're online with your mates playing, and you do a game where I don't know, you need War Machine's recruiting you on a mission, or Tony's doing something on a mission, and he needs your help, or so, I don't know. But yeah, in terms of the elephant in the room, characters that show up, because obviously it's Marvel, everyone's got to show up somehow. I would personally, I'd bring back the what if actors for the likes of Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Carol Danvers, Black Widow, or Natasha Romanoff, since we're using their real names for some reason. And everyone else that survived. You know, I'd do that personally, because I doubt Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Brie Larson, I doubt they're Scarlett Johansson, I doubt they're gonna come back for a game. If they did, I'd love them forever and the game would be so much better. But there's nothing saying you can't use the for the motion capture. There's nothing saying they can't use the footage that they've had from films to create the motion capture. And then again, you can also have other actors like come back for it if the contract's high enough. I'd bring them. If I had my way, I'd bring back the original cast. But you know, worst case scenario, just use the footage from the films and have the what if voices, kind of like a Clone Wars thing with Battlefront 2. But yeah, I think this game would be really cool. If I could personally choose someone to make the game, I would personally pick Bethesda. But if not Bethesda, I will probably do who made Old Republic? Oh wait, EA made EA are in charge of Old Republic. They didn't make it, but I'm not sure if I do Respawn. Respawn feel like really good to make it single player games, not so much RPGs. Then again, who's doing Hogwarts Legacy? Because that game looks so good, and that, to be honest, has drawn massive inspiration for this idea. sorry. I'm gonna change my suit power. Change the suit power first. Do Spider Bro. But yeah, the possibilities for this game, if it was to ever happen, would be endless. You know, I hear what a lot of people are saying about Marvel at the moment, and they are making too much stuff. I love a lot, near enough everything they're making. You know, some things I'm not massively been too keen on, but I've still enjoyed them to some degree. Even like some Ms. Marvel, which I really did like. There's still some redeeming qualities, but I do think that Marvel kind of need to slow things down a bit, because it's starting to, you know, you can kind of tell that they're starting just to make stuff by the fact that the CGI quality is slowly starting to decrease a bit. I thought the CGI for Ms. Marvel was absolutely awful. Personally, the worst I've seen of CGI in Marvel Studios for quite a long time. So I think a video game would be a really good way just to kind of slow things down production wise. You know, because it took 11 years to make the Infinity Saga work. I don't think we need to do the entire multiverse saga in 3 years, because that's roughly where they're going at the moment, unless they announce everything they're doing at SDCC. Personally, I'm really hoping that everything that is announced in SDCC is quite well spread out, So, for example, you know, as much as I don't want to wait to see things like Fantastic Four, I would personally prefer it that we, you know, Fantastic Four was next, and then, like, I don't know, Moon Knight Season 2 wasn't until 2024 or something. I don't know, just kind of start spacing things out a bit more, because at the moment we're getting too much, and I think the CGI problem is becoming more and more apparent. So, you know, having a video game with a completely different kettle of fish designing it, not the VFX team at Marvel Studios, give them a bit of a break. Having a really good and talented games development studio like either Bethesda or I am so sorry. I need to remember more of my RPG games developers. If you know any of major ones, please comment. I know Bethesda from Skyrim and Fallout. I'm trying to think of who made The Old Republic. I don't want to get mixed up with the games developers who do completely different genres. I'm thinking specifically RPG here. Hogwarts Legacy. Who's making Hogwarts Legacy? Who's making that game? I really need to remember this. It's actually getting quite embarrassing. Oh my god, that is pretty sick. Nice. Yeah, I think it's time that the Marvel Studios starts branching out, similarly to how Star Wars has done, because the Disney Plus shows are great. Well, most of them. They're great. The movies are fantastic, but I think now's the time to kind of take things in a different direction, because we don't always have to see things move forward with the multiverse saga. This is why I enjoy Black Widow so much, because it had no correlation to the multiverse drama, and to an extent Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't either, but it will. Obviously now that Sam Wilson's the new Captain America, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier is post Endgame, which is, you know, the modernized Marvel Studios time. Black Widow is just exploring the past, and I think this game would be excellent at that if it was to ever be made. Marvel Studios has such a rich, or, you know, the MCU has such a rich and exotic context that the possibilities for exploring it are endless, which is exactly why a roleplay game should be made. Like, you get to decide which areas of the MCU you get to explore. You get to describe, you know, create your own backstory for your character. You get to create yourself if you wanted to. I would personally love to create a character that just reminds me of myself, because then that'll make me feel better as a person, having literally lived in the MCU in one way or another. I'd personally pick an Asgardian faction, or a sorcerer, you know, they all have their relevance, don't they, those four factions, because Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness, we're going to be getting Wakanda Forever soon, and then Guardians 3. They all have their significance. It's really good. It's really just amazing that we have that kind of that relevance to each other now. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic that that Marvel's at this point, but I think a game is what they need more than anything. To be honest, I would rather wait 3 years for a new movie and play this game in the meantime than watch like 7 or 8 films a year at this point. Because as much as I love it, I think it would be a bit more. it'll be more cost effective to play a really good long game than constantly go to the cinema, which, you know, I'm kind of contradicting hobbies here, because I generally prefer watching movies in the cinema than playing video games. You know, me and my brother we're very similar but very different in that way, because he prefers gaming, I prefer viewing, and, you know, vice versa. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I think Marvel Studios, the Infinity Remnants, should be made. It should be a really good long game, like well over 100 hours long, story-wise. Just make it so that it's so authentic, because I would love to play a game like this. I really want to give so much of my time to Hogwarts Legacy when that drops, and I've been really enjoying Star Wars: The Old Republic, which again explores an entirely new area of the Star Wars universe. I'm thinking, well, why don't we just play with what we've already got in the MCU, but seriously need to explore more of, because I think the blip, the decimation, is such an, you know, it's such a dark, just messed up era of the MCU, because it's where the Avengers lost. You know, the Avengers lost. Tony's worst nightmare came true, and that in itself could be an entire trilogy of content there. But I'm thinking, why make it a trilogy when you can just make it a really kick-ass interactive video game where the player gets to determine how that goes. You know, kill whoever you want, become a villain if you want to, end up joining forces with Thanos and the Black Order, I don't know. Just, it'll be so cool. It'll be such a cool thing to do, and I personally think that a game like this will probably it'll probably do Marvel good in terms of gaining a lot of their fans back. I'm not saying a lot of fans are gone, but I know a lot of people who have generally lost interest following the end of Endgame, which, as much as I love Marvel, I can kind of see what they mean, because the main story is over. Obviously there's so much more to look forward to, but it'd be a great way to just kind of bring back everyone, and just kind of revisit the best of Marvel's, what Marvel has, even though it's officially over. But yeah, I think it'd be so cool. It would be so cool. Plus, you could get people that aren't gamers really into video games by doing this as well, by having an interactive MCU base. I think the game would personally make billions rather. Having a video game with the likes of, you know, Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Thor, you know, oh, that's cool. Iron Fist reference, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick, actually. Who's got a better picture? Alright, never mind. Ah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Honestly, it's been really good to talk about video games again. I have not bothered talking about Gotham Knights, because that game has seriously gone downhill for me. I want to talk more about Suicide Squad, but to be honest, I just haven't really had the energy to. DC is kind of low on my hype list at the moment. I really enjoyed the Batman, but you know, at the moment there's no news being made on The Wolf Among Us Season 2 or Batman Season 3. So until we see more of Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, I'm not really massively bothered. I know there's a Wonder Woman game coming out, which hopefully we'll get some news on that, which I think it'll be a cool game, to be honest. I'll probably end up playing that. One where if it, you know, if it's accessible to me and if it's not too much money, because yeah. In terms of non-comic book related superhero game, you know, in terms of all the video games I'm like really excited for, it's got to be Wolverine, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, Suicide Squad. Gotham Knights I was excited for, but I've seen the gameplay and I'm thinking, what have they done? What have they done? They took the best parts of the Arkham series and they literally just mushed it all up into a ball, spat on it and threw it at the wall. I was like, what have they done? They should have just... now this is a stream I will probably end up making, but I feel like the Gotham Knights game has just completely gone downhill. I feel like it's going to end up as another Avengers, if I'm being honest. The game had so much potential. I was actually buzzing for it. Oh my god, the speed I'm pulling up right now is amazing. But yeah, I'm just not too fussed. Non-related superhero games besides, well, that Wolverine, Spider-Man 2 and Suicide Squad. I'm quite excited for the new Star Wars games coming, Star Wars Eclipse and Jedi Survivor. That'll be sick. Obviously TellTale, but that kind of comes under superhero or comic book. I am buzzing for Hogwarts Legacy. I've spoken about that a lot in my idea for an MCU RPG. Hogwarts Legacy looks like a beautiful game coming up, and I really can't wait to play it. I'm gonna try and get it as soon as I can. I'm kind of hoping that the game drops around the same time as what's it called? Jedi Survivor. I personally feel like we're going to get a surge of November release games again, because obviously November is normally the games release season in the run up to Christmas, because you know parents and teenagers can be wanting to get new games for their family members and friends for Christmas. I feel like we're going to see a lot of competitors going for it again. I think Spider-Man 2 will probably get a September release date if my money is right on it. But I think Jedi Survivor will probably release in November, which I assume will be the same time Ahsoka drops, because that's supposed to be a fall release. I assume that because obviously Star Wars like to do Force Friday, where they release for merchandise for the new productions. They did it with, or they've done it loads. They've done it loads. That's normally in the autumn time or the fall time. So I assume that Jedi Survival will drop on around November time. Gotham Knights can drop dead. Sorry, that's pretty harsh. Gotham Knights can just, I don't know, just come up now. I think you've done this, unless you can seriously pull U-turn, then yeah. I would personally love these games to kind of, instead of constantly trying to compete with each other, kind of encourage the developers of each game to kind of take ideas. Because the games I mentioned before, God of War, Skyrim, even Avengers to some degree, have some really lovely components that I think would be very good for future video games, especially of this kind of caliber and this kind of range. You know, I think Hogwarts Legacy is probably going to be the modern day Old Republic, or the modern day Skyrim for Harry Potter fans. I think an MCU game would be ideal for that kind of range of storytelling. And you know, I think when it comes to other games that are coming out soon, you know, I think it'd be really cool to fully explore the new realms of opportunities with the next gen. And this is why I'm so excited to get my hands on one. I've been toying with the idea of getting another tattoo, and I will, but I'm probably going to end up getting a PlayStation 5 before then, unless the tattoo is relatively cheap. And by relatively cheap I mean like 30 quid. I think the most I pay for a tattoo is this time around is 50, because the one I got is 150 and it's big. But I wouldn't get one as big as the one I've got now. I digress. Yeah, it's been lovely. It's been so good to talk about video games again, because even though I don't consider myself as much of a gamer, I do love playing video games. I don't like to do it 24/7, only because I like to kind of alternate what I do, and also I don't personally see gaming as a massively productive hobby. And I guess I can say the same about watching like TV and stuff and YouTube and things like that. Can't really say that's much of a productive hobby either, but I kind of gain more from it because it kind of stimulates my brain on how I you know, develop my acting skills and my directing skills and stuff. With gaming I don't really get that, but at the same time I just get fun when I game, and I escape the world for a bit. It's lovely. And honestly, if I had the patience for it, I probably would try and you know, normalize my gaming habits. And I'm probably going to try and work on that more before I leave for uni and I work between having a job. Probably wouldn't on a weekend because I work on a Friday and Saturday. Friday I'll probably just go straight to bed, and Saturday I'll probably go after work, probably either I finish work at 8 o'clock. I wouldn't get back till like 20 past or half 8, or whenever I clock off. You know, yeah, I want to try and give myself more time for playing games, more time for gaming, because like I said, I love gaming. Before I got my job, after I left sixth form and then got my job, I had like a month of literally watching movies and gaming to my heart's content. It was awesome, but at the same time I don't like to be not doing anything that's profitable for too long. In my eyes, profitable is either working or learning or gaining qualifications, or, you know, gaining qualifications and making money. Which is why I'm a bit, I wish I'd kind of gone pro with, or not pro, but a bit more legit with YouTube and live streaming, because I would love to make money through ad revenue and stuff. I love how this has gone from a pitch video to just me rambling again. That's just what these streams turn into. I don't think it'll ever happen, but you know, maybe when I'm in uni and I get time off, God knows. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really cool, honestly. In terms of gaming and future things I'd like to kind of get more involved with, I have actually watched the past few Xbox showcases, PlayStation State of Plays, E3, Summer of Gaming Festival. I have watched a load of them, and to be honest, some of them are really, really good. I remember when Spider-Man, or when Miles Morales got announced and the PlayStation 5 got revealed, and when Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine got announced, I literally screamed, which was just so cool, so exciting to me. I loved it. And yeah, I really do love a lot of the games that have come. Jedi Survivor was awesome. I've just got so many memories, fond memories recently with the gaming community, and I would love to get more involved with it, and also maybe try and vary and branch out what I play. As I have COVID at the moment, whilst I recover, I'm actually planning on playing the rest of the Lego Harry Potter remaster, because I'm on Deathly Hallows. I want to finish that game. And then probably move on to something else. Probably I might even try and replay Life is Strange, because that is one of my favourite games of all time. It's actually how I became really close with my best mate. But yeah, just whilst I battle COVID, I want to enjoy. The thing is, I want to get back to work. I really do, because you know, even though my job is physically exhausting, I really like it. It's really simple. I really like it, and I'm not gonna give numbers because I do not want to flex I do not want to flex at all, but the pay is really good. I would love to get back to work though, but whilst I'm not, and also I'm hopefully going on holiday soon. If I've you know, hopefully if COVID can jog on, I'll be going on holiday, and I'll try and get a few pictures and stuff. I might try and stick in a video of me on holiday. But yeah, I think it'd be really cool, honestly. I think that's going to be it for now, from me personally. Thank you so much for checking out this stream. For those who have been popping in here and there, comment below if you guys would like to see a Marvel Studios roleplay game, as well as I do. You know, whatever you guys think, let me know. I'll chat to you guys soon. Peace out, guys, and bye bye.